toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and Nintendo Switch? Apparently, our favorite Nintendo console is currently just as rare and hard to get as those highly coveted household products. In a really strange turn of events, Nintendo just dropped one of their biggest Switch games ever in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and people who want to hop on board with this console now can't even get a new system because they're sold out everywhere, and people are price gouging the heck out of this thing, hiking the MSRP up by $100, $150, $200, $250, creating a super weird ecosystem where you can't even get the system to play the new hot game. Well, I've got news for you. We're going to talk about why this is happening, when it might be fixed, and alternative options for how you can still get a system, because boy oh boy, I do not recommend you pay these elevated prices. It's basically just throwing money away because this isn't something that will be rare forever. It's just currently in a real sticky situation. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. We're going to share all the details of what's going on. It's making the rounds right now. Forbes just posted a really interesting article about how this is basically sold out everywhere. And I want to hear from you as well. I'm going to give you guys my tips and my opinion on this situation and what you can do. But I want to hear from you. If you've been hunting for a Switch, let me know. If you found a Switch somehow by sheer luck or a place that most people aren't considering, let us know in the comments. I'm sure people would really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and are hungry for a Switch, or if you have one, hit that like button if you're grateful that you got one and didn't have to pay this darn much, because look, on Amazon it's completely sold out. The OG Switch, the one that can actually switch, is going for like $440 because these third-party sellers are taking advantage of the scarcity and hiking the price. Now normally, if something's really rare, the price does go up, but what's odd about this is the reason it's happening is because of the global pandemic. And so we're seeing supply chain constraints, we're seeing delays and huge effects on manufacturing in China, and we're seeing an inability to get these consoles to retailers. So in this case, it's a little bit of a bummer that all these third-party sellers are really raising the price. And in some cases, it's insanely exorbitant. I looked on Newegg, they've got a $630 Nintendo Switch, a $505 Nintendo Switch. I mean, honestly, if you need a Switch now, the OG Switch, and I'm going to give you an alternative in a minute, but if you need the OG Switch, eBay is probably your best bet. People are selling it for about $400, $410, right around there. That's still crazy. That's still $100 above MSRP. But if you have to have one now, it seems like eBay is the cheapest price. But we got people selling just the tablet for $350, which is absurd. Just the tablet. You're not even getting the freaking Joy-Con. So what is going on? I mean, it's obvious, but this is just bonkers. I've never seen anything like this. The Switch Lite is even sold on Amazon. People are selling it not for as much of a percentage increase, but for about $30 more. So here's what you can do. I know a lot of people want the OG Switch. I have friends that say, hey, I don't really want anything but the Switch. And whether it's the V1 Switch or the V2 Switch, they want the Switch. But let me pitch you on an alternative option real quick, because it'll save you money and you might end up liking it more. Because look, the Switch Lite is a $200 system that is in stock at Best Buy, that is in stock at Target, that is in stock at GameStop. It is in stock at Walmart, but it's these really overpriced bundles that give you a game and junky accessories for like $350. Please stay away from that. Don't be fooled by bundles right now. But the Switch Lite by itself in its turquoise yellow and sometimes even gray variety, and eventually coral when it drops on April 3rd, is $200 normal price. Why pay double or over double for the OG Switch when you can play the same games on a system that actually is pretty stellar? Now look, I love the colors and I think it's a very cute, smaller, more pocketable system. But I was concerned if the Switch Lite would be my secondary, just when I travel Switch, or my main Switch. And let me tell you, the Switch Lite has become my favorite way to play. Now, I'm my own person, so maybe you'll feel differently or maybe you won't agree, but I love the ergonomics of this system. I like that it's a little bit smaller. I like that the buttons feel a bit different. I love the matte finish. And I like that the Joy-Con aren't bending and a little bit, ever so slightly flimsy. You also, as far as I know, can't get drift because there's no Joy-Cons to drift. So it's a very wonderful, compact, cool system. I think the screen looks stellar, and if you are going to play Animal Crossing mostly by yourself, if you're looking to get in on One Step from Eden, or the newly released Good Job, or Celeste, or Hollow Knight, if you want adventure through Breath of the Wild, or Link's Awakening, and you don't care too much about the TV, this is an excellent option. Take a peek at this system, and let's listen in on what I had to say when I initially reviewed the Switch Lite. It's the best darn handheld machine I've ever held. In some ways, this feels like the best way to experience Switch games. In some ways, it feels like a total refinement, a true step forward for the form factor. But it also loses what makes the Switch the Switch. Now, I understand that you cannot replace the traditional console gaming experience, but you can still sit on your couch, and if you're really committed, you can still even play multiplayer. You can sync Pro Controllers, Joy-Con, any other controllers up to this Switch Lite and still play multiplayer. Yeah, it's a small screen. Yeah, it's a bummer they don't have any HDMI out options, but if you're willing to get close and cuddly, which isn't encouraged right now unless it's the people that you're living with currently, then you can still play on the Switch Lite multiplayer madness. But like I said, if you're looking to just get in on Animal Crossing, rack up those Nook miles, pay off the Bell debt, if you want to try your hand at Smash Bros. Online and be ready for the ARMS fighter that's getting added in June, if you want a Switch now to get you through these tough times, I think the Switch Lite is an excellent selection. If it was the same price, I'd say no way. If the Switch Lite was also being price hiked, I'd say no way. But look, you can get this thing right now, and if you want, it's $100 less, so you're actually saving money, which you could then use on a big beefy memory card. You can get those for like $20 on Amazon. You can use it on Animal Crossing and still have change left over versus even buying the normal MSRP Switch. So please, I'm begging you, do not go drop $440, $500 on a Switch. And if you find a V1 Switch and it's the normal price, by all means buy it. I know a lot of people really like the V2 Switch. I personally never upgraded. It brings you some better battery life. That's what it brings you. It's a shiny new box. It is obviously the preferred option if they're both in stock, but if for some reason you do run into a V1 Switch because people are trying to push those since they're not as popular or new as the V2, buy it. My V1 Switch works wonderfully, plays the games the same, still has solid battery life, and I love it. And you're going to love yourself for not overextending your probably already tight cash on a super overpriced Switch system. If you know anyone that has a Switch Lite, ask them. Is it working okay for them? The Switch Lite is fantastic for travel and at home. It's a great system to play in bed, chill on the couch, take in your pocket. It does not have the flexibility of playing on your TV. But look, if everybody's home right now and people are trying to use the TV, maybe they're even getting ready to play Resident Evil 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake, maybe it's even for the best that you got that Switch Lite and you can just play it wherever you want and don't have to worry about docking it or anything like that. At the end of the day, it is a toss-up if you want to save $100 and get the Switch Lite or spend $100 and get the Switch. I really feel that there are positive benefits to both. And while the OG Switch is the main Switch, right now it's not the main Switch. It is the most expensive Switch by a large margin. And I don't think it's worth $440. I would highly recommend y'all give a look at the Switch Lite if you're looking for one, and I don't think you'll be too disappointed. And if down the road you want to sell this and swap it and eventually get a bigger Switch, look, they're going to be back to normal price soon enough. They will have some bundled deals. You could even wait till Black Friday, grab a Switch coming with the game, a V2 bundle. I'm sure they'll have them. Maybe they'll even do another cool custom console like the Animal Crossing New Horizons bundle, which is fantastic, but also phenomenally overpriced, going for like $600 on eBay. Do not do that to yourself. Wait and see what Nintendo has for the rest of the year, and I'm sure they'll have more limited edition systems. They've been pumping those things out since launch, and they're getting cooler and cooler as time goes on. You could always switch the Switch Lite out for a Switch, or give the Switch Lite to a significant other, a family friend, a younger brother, and move into the bigger dock system. But right now, I think the Switch Lite is a super good selection. So let me know what you think, how you feel about that. I'm sorry if you've been wanting a Switch, waiting for one, you think this is the perfect time, and the world just is not working in your favor. Video games, honestly, are such a good way to spend the time right now. Take your mind off things and de-stress. If you want to join a community where you can talk about all this stuff, hang out, play Switch games, hook up with new multiplayer friends, we've started the Discord server Switch Strong, a safe and positive space to talk everything Switch and hang out and free your mind up for a little while. I'll put a link to that in the description below if you'd like to join us over there. And in the meantime, let me know how your hunt for a Switch has become. It's a crazy, crazy thing that you can't even get a Switch. But I think a Switch Lite is a nice alternative. Got really cool colors, you can still sync controllers, and you can still play all of these awesome games, and you don't have to miss that extra money. In fact, you're saving tons of money that can then be used on games, accessories, or even other controllers. So let me know your take in the comments down below, everybody. Have a fantastic day. I'll keep you posted if these things come back in stock anywhere or where they do. You can follow us on Twitter. I'll make sure to tag and retweet if anything drops or they get a new supply. It seems like it's going to be a while. It seems like it's going to be at least a month or two before this gets figured out, and who knows if it's going to be longer. So take that into account. Wait and see on those exorbitant prices. And have a fantastic day, everybody. Stay safe out there. Stay home. Be good to yourself and others. And until next time, thanks so much. I appreciate your support more than you know. SwitchForce, out.